Well, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, has dropped a new hint about the potential cost of living measures that might be there in the main budget. This is during a speech to small businesses in Sydney. We'll get more details on that a little later today. Our reporter Fiona Willan is there. But in the meantime, I'm joined by Independent MP Dai. Dai, thanks so much for your time. Your constituents and you will be looking for any cost of living relief in this budget. Now, let's put two and two together here. Anthony Albanese talking about more cost of living relief when it comes to electricity bills, and he's speaking at a small business conference. So does that give you some hope?
Well, Laura, I shouldn't be so cynical, but I can't help being cynical. There must be something happening in 12 months' time, an election time perhaps. But to me, this is another headline-grabbing announcement as usual, and it's up to, my understanding is about $650 for up to a million businesses for energy. I can tell you, and I think I've spoken on your program before, I've got local businesses here who energy bills have gone from $4,000 to about $11,000. Now, will that $650 help? I don't know, but anything will help a small bit. But I think at the end of the day, wholesale energy prices have gone down, and yet now these are all private electricity energy companies. Are they going to reduce dividends to their shareholders? So whatever promises the government make, I'll be watching this closely because, I've been talking about cost of living, energy prices, fuel excise tax cut. The government have to do something in order to bring down the cost of living pressures for families and small business. And it's surprising that they're now talking about small business and small business has not been a focus. As we know, the IR changes that they've made, that has a huge impact on small business out here.
Yeah, so what's the feedback been to those IR changes now that the dust has settled a bit? Small businesses saying to you that it's just, too onerous, or what are they? What is the feedback?
First of all, it's onerous. But secondly, those who are working in small business, like, for instance, in organisations that would benefit from the changes to the IR, where wages increase, it's great for those who are still remaining in the job, but they've been cutting staff back because, a small business will have to shoulder the cost of that increase in wage, for instance. And there are other costs. Energy prices have gone up. The cost of goods have gone up. The supply chain, all of that has gone up. So, look, I feel for families and small businesses, especially here in Fowler and Western Sydney, that are struggling because of the low income and the low socioeconomic, backgrounds. A lot of our communities out here are struggling to survive, and family members are working together to prop up their small business. So I just get frustrated when I hear politicians of the day making announcements just prior to an election of this big, great news, that people should be so grateful for. When the reality, that's not the case. People have to go to the grassroots level and understand the hardships that people are experiencing.